Hello, welcome to Introduction to SQL. In the previous videos, we learned about the basic concepts of database, what are the different database architectures, what is database management system in general. Of course, if you are willing to learn more about those kind of concepts, you can definitely Google it out and you can gain some confidence and knowledge on that. So let's get started. Today's topic is going to be Introduction to SQL, Introduction to SQL. Now, SQL, Structure Query Language. It is usually pronounced as SQL or else SQL. Okay, it basically stands for Structured Query Language. SQL is used to communicate with databases. SQL is just a language, structured query language, a language with the help of which you can communicate with the databases where you are storing the data. You can read the data, you can update the data, you can create tables, update tables, alter tables. A lot of things can be possible. It is a standard language for relational database management systems. SQL statements are used to perform tasks such as update data on a database or retrieve data from a database. Some common relational database management systems that use SQL are Oracle, Sybase, Microsoft SQL Server, Access, Ingress, etc. So all of these mentioned RDBMS softwares use SQL language. The standard SQL commands such as select, which is basically meant for selecting the data, insert, which is used for inserting the data into a table, update, which is basically meant for updating some records, delete, which is meant for deleting some records, create is basically meant for creating some tables, views, stored procedures, or databases. You can create any of them. And drop. Drop is basically dropping out that particular schema, table, view, anything. These all commands are used to accomplish almost everything that one needs to be doing with the database. SQL programming can be used to perform multiple actions on data, such as querying, inserting, updating, deleting, extracting, etc., etc., etc. Now, coming back to the next topic, which is going to be data types in SQL. What is a data type? I hope everybody must be knowing about what exactly is data. Now we know what is a data, right? Data is of two types, majorly. One is your categorical data and one is your numerical data. If you are already aware with Python, you might already be knowing about data types. What are the data types in Python? We have integer, float, boolean, string. All these are the types of data or data type. Data type, as simple as that, it's an English word. The name and the meaning is quite simple. The type of data is basically data type. In SQL, there are three major types of data types. We'll read about that. So data types defines the type of data the column holds. You can see SID department, department number, and department name. And I'm just ignoring this part. This could be the index or the row number. So SID department, as you can see, it's a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 11. Now, what could be the probable data type for this one? When it comes to Python, it's integer, right? Simple. Department number. It's a combination of letters and numbers. D001, D002, D003. So definitely it cannot be numbers, right? It must be a string. So in Python, if we define the data types, department will be an integer type, department number will be a string type, and department name will also be a string type. Simple. In SQL, we treat string type as characters. Varchar, that is one of the data types in SQL. And of course, integer remains the same. It's going to be integer. These are the three major data types. One is going to be numeric, which is integer, int, character, and date and time. Once we get started with the creation and all these kind of concepts, you will have a better understanding on which type of data type are you going to use and when to use and how to use it. Coming back to the next topic, which is again very basics, but it's going to be very much needed because this is the core of SQL. Now, SQL command categories. There are multiple types of commands within SQLs. Majorly, they are divided into four types. One is data query language, which is called as DQLs, data definition language, which means DDLs, data manipulation language, DMLs, and data control language, which is DCLs. These are the four major types, but you will mostly be using DDLs and DMLs. So definitely DDLs and DMLs are must to learn SQLs. Even if you don't learn DCLs or DQLs are very common, like select queries, data querying language, right? So DDLs and DMLs, we'll talk about that in depth because these are the most important topics. As you can see, data query language. If you remember, the middle word is going to be the keyword here. Query. That means what are you querying? How can you query? To query something, you have to use select. Similarly, data definition language. That means how are you defining the data? Create tables. That means you're creating your data. Alter tables. Alter table basically is used in scenarios. Let's say you already have created a table. Just imagine you have created a table, a simple table called as employees. It has employee name, employee ID, employee age, department, for an example. Now this table is already created in your database. Now somebody asks you, hey, can we add a column to it? Of course we can add it. So how can we do that? In order to do that, you have to use alter keyword. Alter table, and then rest will be the expressions which I will be teaching you. Create table. What is create table? When you first create your table or create your view or create your stored procedures, you have to use this keyword. Create table, table name, and then we have to pass all the information. Your column name, and then the data type, varchar, and then it goes on. Okay, let's say 25. We'll learn about all these things in depth. Dropping a table is also a DDL, data definition language. Dropping means you are dropping a table. You don't want that table anymore. So the command is pretty simple. Drop table, table name. Okay. Data manipulation language. As I already told you, middle word. Manipulation means manipulating, changing. How do we change the data? So to change the data, you have to update, insert, and delete it. That means you are changing the structure of the table. The table is now having 1,000 records. You want 5 more records. That means you are changing the table, right? You are manipulating the table. So insertion, updation, and deletion are basically considered under your DMLs. If you don't remember anything, it's going to be super simple when it comes to interviews. If somebody asks you data definition language and DMLs, just think about the middle word. Data definition language, that means how we define the data, then definitely we'll think of create, alter, and drop. Data manipulation, that means how are we manipulating the data? It's going to be insert, update, and delete. And then comes data control language, grant and revoke, that majorly we don't use as a data analyst. Mostly the DBA administration and all these kind of teams who are managing the databases, they will be using these commands, but we will see how can we use that. Okay, so this is all about SQL command categories, and in the next class we are going to deep dive into the practicals part. Thank you.